Okay. All right, so now we're going to see how all of the information we just got from up here is applied to our equations and what it would look like graphed. Okay, so we have our formula for the axis of symmetry. X equals negative b over 2a. In this portion of the packet, what we're doing is for each equation, we're finding the axis of symmetry and the vertex. And then we're going to sketch it. Okay, so to get our axis of symmetry, we're going to put in the b value, the a value, we're going to work it through, and we're going to get a number. Okay, that's going to give us our x equals the value for our axis of symmetry. To get our vertex, we take the number we got for the x when we use that formula, we plug it into this equation, and that's when we're going to get our y value. Okay, so let's get started. First thing we're going to do, and this axis of symmetry, A of S, negative b over 2a. Okay, and that's going to give us an x value, so now I'm just going to say x equals. Now, what is my b value in this equation? Everybody. What's my b value in this equation? No. The 6. Does everybody see that? Everybody should be looking. Everybody should see this b is this. So a on this equals 1. B equals 6. And C equals 4. Get in the habit of doing that. So that way when you're plugging these into many of the formulas we're going to be using, you immediately can see which values are going to go where. Okay, so B is 6, and we're going to make it negative. So that's going to be negative 6 over 2 times, and what's my A value? 1. Which is going to give us negative 6 divided by 2, which is going to give us, what's negative 6 divided by 2? Okay, remember, the formula is negative b, so the 6 that was positive becomes negative. Negative 3. Okay, that gave me my x. So my axis of symmetry, x equals negative 3. Now, I've got to find my vertex. So for the vertex, x equals 3, negative 3. So I'm going to do y equals, I'm going to put in the formula, x squared plus 6x plus 4. Now I'm going to plug in the negative 3. Y equals negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 plus 4. What is negative 3 times negative 3? Negative times a negative is a positive, and 3 times 3 is, you guys are scaring me, 9. Okay, so when you're squaring a number that's negative, it's going to be positive, because it's the negative times the negative. And what is 6 times negative 3? Minus 18 plus 4. Okay, now I'm going to combine all those numbers. That's going to give me negative 9 plus 4. Y equals negative 5. My vertex is not negative 5. My vertex is negative 3, negative 5. So my vertex is the x that I just used to get the y. Both of those coordinates, because it's a location on the graph. Okay, so what is that going to look like when I sketch it? This is my vertex right here, and this is negative 5. And this point right up here is at negative 3. Put those two together. my vertex, -3, -5. Is it a minimum or a maximum? Is this as low as the graph goes, or is it the high point of the graph? This is a minimum. Okay, so what you're going to do on yours, use a straight edge, use your lanyards, your ID if you need to. Create your X and Y. Most of this graph you'll see is on the left side quadrant. What is that? What quadrant is that? Second, quadrants 2 and 3. So leave more room when you're doing this on that side of the equation, of that side of the graph. And it's going into negative territory, so we're going to make it up high enough to get that. There's my X, there's my Y. I'm always going to use a straight edge, and I'm going to label my X and Y axis. Here's -5, -3. Okay, I'm going to put a point right here. And that's where I want to make sure I go down to. I want to make sure I hit that minimum. I am not going to worry about, I'm just going to try to get close to where this is crossing the x-axis. If we factor, we know exactly what those numbers are, but you can see they're not integers. So we're going to figure those out in a different way. Okay, so then I'm just going to bring it down. It goes just before the -1, just after the -5, and then put arrows, and ta-da! Mark this point, vertex, because it's a key point, -3, -5. Okay, questions? That's what you're going to do. Just get those last two done, 8 and 9. If you don't finish these two in class, that'll be the homework. We want to just finish the first page, so get some practice while it's fresh in your minds. And the video will be up. Oh, and by the way, if you want to check and make sure you have, class, if you want to check and make sure that you have correctly graphed it, go on Desmos, put the equation in as you see it, and then you can compare what it looks like. Little cheat sheet there. Good luck, get to work.